So good day, friends. Good day, humans. Being on the verge of enormous changes that everybody feels that nobody wanna fully admit, especially not the mainstream politicians, mainstream media, the mainstream, let's say, religious streams, and especially mainstream education, so-called scientific and educational elite. They don't want to tell you what is really coming. They feel it, they know it, they've experienced it, yet they're kind of letting you do what you know the best. They're letting you to discern. Are they bullshitting you, or are they really just trying to scam the same old story? Same old scam artists are doing the same old games. So title, JFK assassination. Instead of asking who, one can find out why. So whoever listen what I'm usually blabbing around here, I'm always posing the questions. And these are not for you. It's mostly for my own sanity, for my own retrospectiveness, for my own deeper, let's say, indulgence that I am the one who has to come up with the answers for these questions. Some are very, very silly, like I've been through my videos last 7-8 years. Some are really not of the same person. But even now, I cannot claim that I'm sane, because I don't believe what I see all around. I don't trust mainstream media. I see what they're really trying to achieve, or trying to keep status quo where nobody would notice how big liars they are. All this so-called political history or historic events were so twisted and always pushed into a direction of questioning who did it what. But when you realize it does not matter, if you're questioning why this has happened, why these false flag events are happening all around you. And they're not only false flags when they do the shooting in, doesn't matter, Los Angeles or Dallas or whenever it was that was happening. The point is why these things are happening. So instead of always asking who, and which is where the main media is trying to push you into, who did it? Who is the culprit behind it? Soros paid for it. Whoever, Trump wanna hide something. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter who did it. If you go deeper and start questioning why. Why John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Why Robert Kennedy was assassinated. Pretty much executed on, in the midst of the day, in front of the eyes and cameras of every single one in America. It's almost like it was preordained, and they're telling everybody in the obscure language that this should happen or it could happen, but nobody really questioning why until this moment. So this is why Trump really doesn't want to disclose the processes of investigations, the falsehood of the putting the patsies in a position, first patsy, second patsy kills the first patsy, the second patsy disappears and end up living in some barn in the United States, hidden from the public view, yet absolutely not punished because he was put on purpose in obscurity. So, to answer bluntly on this question, why JFK and Robert Kennedy were assassinated is because they abolished, very carefully listen, they abolished Federal Reserve. And by executive order 11-10-10, Dave or JFK stated that American government will print their own American dollars. And it started. And it only lasted for not even 6, 8, 3.5, 4 months. And he was assassinated. Yet they pulled all this greenback dollars out of the commission like nothing happened. And continue printing their own Federal Reserve. And they were identical. Instead of Federal Reserve, the Kennedy's currency and dollar bill had United States of America. It's ownership of United States of America, not the Federal Reserve Corporation. So when you check your dollars now, you're still using the Federal Reserve note. It's like a promissory note that's saying it has a value of whatever, $1, $10, $100. Yet, first of all, it's not backed with anything, and second of all, it's really not true what I said, but it is backed with your debt, with your American people's debt, and everybody else in the world who were using the American dollar as the currency of international exchange. So why nobody mentioning this order publicly yet anymore? Because they could not. If they mention it, they will really realize that it's still very active. So when Kennedy abolished Federal Reserve, it never been revoked or brought back in the old ways, as none of the, let's say, next presidents, all the way until the 44th president, they did not dare to mention anything about it. So this executive order is 100% in order, like it's active. So Federal Reserve is just bullshitting you, or bullshitting everybody on this planet, because Federal Reserve is now owning all the central banks of different countries and so on, most of the countries, except Russia and a couple of more, and more actually just peeling off the Federal Reserve's ownership, so-called, over their assets, their debts and everything else. So the only way to see it as a let's say a sane calculation, that this Federal Reserve entity, corporation, group of rogue people are just pulling a wool over your eyes, pretending they're of some importance and they're there to be asked how much interest they were going to give you for the next whatever money print. It matters not how much they're going to say, because they're doing absolutely illegal and very, very sinister tricks. They're putting everybody in obligation to pay their own debts, yet they are lying and deceiving everybody. So, what Trump has to do with all of it? What he has to do with this particular executive order? Nothing. Because if he is going to do this, I mean, he already did it, yet not too many people are aware of it, not at least in public. The Federal Reserve is not asked a single iota about anything, which actually all these indictments that they are sealed, still sealed means not for the public eye, are absolutely executed based on treason, theft and treachery against every single banker, every single executive, every single CEO of these large corporations, plus central banks, plus UBI, plus ECB and so on, because they're all intercolluded with this scheme of tricking people that they're doing so-called legal and important work. Yet it's from 1963 it's absolutely illegal what they've done. So eventually you'll see Trump just bringing this back into a public eye through his little tweets saying Executive Order 11-10-10, it's absolutely and irrevocably active. So let me see what I'm going to do. This is I'm mimicking Trump, but he will of course use his own beautiful accent to show the world how easy these creatures were falling down. Why Yellen and Federal Reserve creatures are not there anymore. I mean, they're in jail. Most of them who survived, actually, who are still alive and kicking. So let's go to rhetorics of any kind of events that they were presented to you. Turn this around and always ask why. Never bother even questioning what kind of clothes the messenger has, what kind of attitude this messenger has, what kind of disgusting behavior, in this case in the quotes, for Trump has by not letting you all this information out at the present time. If you ask why, you would get a very sane answer. He wanna really, absolutely protect every single one of you that you will not be tricked ever again. Once when he announces it, he will have every single I dotted and every single T crossed, which means it will not be a single place for mistake, for escape hole. They can go underground, they can go into space, they can go whenever. They cannot, because they are absolutely arrested. They are so incriminated with the proof that they were doing for the last 40, 50 years, 70 years, a criminal activity of deceiving American people and the world, stating that this is now whatever petrodollar will be used, which has no meaning to anything, that has no intrinsic value behind this, because it's based on fraud. So you can question me, please, why I'm doing this stupid stuff, why I'm doing the videos every day or whatever I feel inclined to do. What is my purpose of what is behind this silly videos? Not I'm so beautifully looking on the camera, beside this I am, but what is the reason why I'm doing that? And I'm not the only one. There's many beautiful beings. Check Amazing Polly. Check this beautiful Canadian professor, Patterson. Check Thomas Williams. And you can hear these people who are really bringing you a truth without questioning what you're going to do with this. It's just for you to discern. It's just for you to come up with your own, let's say 9/11 explanation or JFK assassination explanation. It's not up to me to tell you who did it. Besides, we all know. Yet, I would like to encourage you to start asking why this happened and what you can do about it to disclose as many of these whys to the world.